Bam. Get out of the way. I'm feeling very, very anxious at the minute. Very vulnerable, very exposed. Um, maybe not as exposed as Tottenham's back four earlier though, Mikey. Start to get that one in there as well. Yeah, I'm feeling very overwhelmed as well. I've never really been able to do anything like this. Speak in front of an audience. I've always, from when I can remember, I've always been sort of overcome by this fear of being judged or not being good enough. Someone else has always got to be better than me, or my head's always found a way to put me down. That's from a very early age, from before I even picked up drugs, because my addict, I believe, has always been present from ever since I can remember. Remember at school, I used to have to do readings at school, and I'd get up at the front of the school, and I wouldn't be able to read it. I'd clam up, go bright red, like I'm probably going on, and my head would talk me out of doing it. And it's all because of that. I suffer from fear-based illness. I suffer from a lot of insecurities and a lot of I'm very self-conscious, and it's all because of what the voice in my head says to me. I've always found a way of getting out of that. I'm always obsessed about one thing or another. When I was young, it was computer games, sport, playing football. Anything I'd done, or anything I obsessed about, I'd done to an extreme, and I suppose it sort of got out of hand around, as it progressed, things got worse. And I suppose because of all the, comparing myself to others, the way I looked, I never felt good about myself. I never felt comfortable in my own skin. And then I suppose, when I was about 14, it got quite bad, and I actually stopped eating. Started obsessing about not eating, and if I did eat, I had to read back to labels, and it got really out of hand. It got really out of hand. It went on for quite a while, and it's crazy because I started doing it because I didn't feel good in my own skin, but the end result led me to feeling even worse in my own skin. I felt, my self-worth was battered. I actually got diagnosed anorexic. That's how bad it got. And then after that, I found the drugs, and I suppose that was probably the best thing I found at the time to shut my head up. While I was using, obviously when I put them down, it got louder again. I started using about 16. I always blamed it on my upbringing, the reason I used, I always blamed it on that, but I understand now that it's got nothing to do with that. Well, I don't think it has. Some little things might have played into the reason I am the way I am, but I believe I'm an addict because I'm an addict. I take responsibility for my addiction. I don't need to blame anyone else. I don't need to blame myself for being an addict. I'm just an addict. It's as simple as that. My using, I love using. When I started, I loved it. Like I say, gave me the confidence and confidence I needed to socialise, because I was never really good at socialising with others. Felt very awkward. But when I used it, it just didn't matter how I was. I felt like I fit in when I used it. bit of a clown at first when I started using, but as it went on, I noticed all the friends that I was using with to start off with started pulling away because it's like they knew when to stop, but I didn't. You know, I used to think to myself, why can they leave half a pint and I just couldn't? I didn't think that was right. Or we'd be on the sesh one weekend and the next weekend one of my mates has still got a bag from the weekend before. How the fuck do you do that? You know, it's quite strange. It's like you know, but I actually that I've had to be perfect in everything I've done. You know, so I have to be perfect in taking drugs as well. So I do it, but that's what I told myself. I do it to whatever measures necessary. You know what I mean? I take as much as I can, but really that was just. But I could never take too much because even if I took as much as I can, I always wanted more anyway. My life just got so unmanageable as the using went on. You know, when I was 16, I qualified as a gas engineer, and I could hold that. I held that down for a while. Like I say, as the using went on, I lost that job. But my justification for the fact that I weren't as bad as anyone else, that I weren't as bad as the other people that were using. I didn't touch crack. I didn't touch heroin. So I wasn't a proper addict. That was in my head, and you know, I'd come out, I'd lose one job, I'd go straight into another. So it didn't seem as bad. You know, I didn't. Everyone else knew I had the problem before I did. But then towards the end, it took me to a very dark place. So I ended up pushing all my family away, and I ended up living in the woods for a while. Yeah, pushed all my family away, didn't want nothing to do with me. And they had reason to, do you know what I mean? It caused them so much pain, so much heartache and worry that I don't blame them. I don't blame them now for doing what they've done, but at the time, I didn't see how they could do that to me. It was all about me. And I didn't see a way out. I didn't see a way out. I was trapped in that dark place of hopelessness that I didn't think there was a way out of. And I ended up trying to save my own life. Which makes me feel quite emotional now thinking of it, because I've got two boys, I've got, you know, that I would have left behind, and I didn't think twice about them. Because like I say, it's all about me. Well, it was all about me at the time. Come down to Western in 2016 and done 7 months in treatment, self-empowerment. I've never done this stuff before. I come out after 7 months and I thought I was better than everyone in this room. I thought you were all wasting your time coming and talking about your feelings in a meeting. You know what I mean? I didn't think, you know, I was very egotistical, very arrogant, and I was still wrapped up in this denial of my problem not being as bad as it was, or, you know, not facing the facts that I had an illness, or I had a voice in my head, you know, because that's what like the bloke who shared last said, that they class it as a voice in your head. I didn't believe that was his biggest problem as it was, you know. It was only until I relapsed New Year's Eve 2000 and, I think it's 2000, yeah, New Year's Eve 2016 I relapsed. And that's when it opened my eyes up to the fact that I suffer with something that is beyond my power. And it wants me dead, is the bottom line of it. Because I'm not talking for anyone else, but I've experienced near-death situations because of this thing in my head. And that's when I snapped out of that delusion that I wasn't going to beat this stuff. So that's when I, you know, January 1st, 2017 is when I really thought I better get on with this stuff. I think there's something in this. I didn't believe, a couple of reasons I didn't believe in it was because of what I heard in the meetings. I did start going to a couple of meetings before I relapsed, and that was only because it was the walls of the house. But the things that I heard in the meetings, the God, heard a lot of crap mentioned, and I was hearing all the differences and none of the similarities. My head would close itself off from all the similarities. And that's one of the reasons I didn't really get anything from it. But when I relapsed, my mind sort of just opened up. You know what I mean? It opened up. I paid attention in the meetings, and I got on with the work. And I'm so grateful that I did, because my life has changed massively. I'm now 20, well, I think it's about 21 months now. And it's not been easy. I ain't gonna make it's easy. No fun and games. It's been hard. There's a lot of stuff going on in them 21 months, and some of it, a lot of it was partly my own doing and not listening. I got in a relationship 3 months into my recovery, which people advised against, or gave me their experience around them getting into a relationship, and I didn't listen. I don't like people telling me what to do. So I got into a relationship with someone 3 months into my recovery, and it didn't turn out the way my head said it was going to be. Let's have it that way. We never got married. We never settled down in a mansion. But out of it, I've got a beautiful little boy. The run up to him being born wasn't pleasant, and it's still very difficult now. But as long as I do everything I can possibly do to make sure I'm there for that boy, there for both my boys in a matter of sense. You know what I mean? Then I'll be alright. And I believe that's what I'm doing. That's all I can do. And it's through this program that's given me the awareness to do that. I went through a lot of loss during the last 21 months, and a lot of loss. I've been through quite a bit, as well as a lot of people do on a daily basis. You know what I mean? But the way I'm getting through it now is by doing this stuff and talking to people that have been in similar situations, that help pull me through it, because I can't do this stuff on my own. And when I start thinking I can, I'm in a dangerous situation, because the evidence is I've never been able to do anything on my own. I've just moved into my own flat after doing most of my recovery in a dry house, and I can't pick the dry houses up enough. I hear a lot of people slagging the dry houses off. Now, I've shared this once or twice, but in my experience, the dry houses give you a lot of time to grow up and focus on things that are of great value to your recovery. When I was in the dry house, I went through my steps, built on my qualifications, started to rebuild the trust in my family, and also it helps you work on your spiritual principles. You know what I mean? You're not going to get on with everyone in the dry house. You're not going to get on with everyone in the dry house, but then again, you're not going to get on with everyone at work. You're not going to get on with everyone outside the dry house. So it gives you a lot of time to focus on your patience and tolerance. And I had to have a lot of patience and tolerance at some point or other. And I suppose they did with me as well. But yeah, so the dry, you know, that's what I've done. I knuckled down in the dry house, just done what I had to do to get to where I am now, you know, and now life's great. Like I say, I've got my family back in my life, been through the work. I'm sharing at this. No. Yeah, it's madness, isn't it? It's minutes anyway. Yeah, I've just started driving again. I'm actually, I've been driving for 7 years, but the last 3 weeks has been the only time in 7 years that I'm driving legally. I don't know what else to say. I'm going to say.
How long have you been for?
Do you know, saying that, I spoke about the things that I've done, but I'd say the best thing, one of the best things that I've got in my recovery is the fact that a lot of the pals that I grew up with have seen something in me, and they've done something about their life as well. You know, I think, you know, because when I come down here, a lot of my old mates were laughing about it and saying I couldn't do it. But I'm quite stubborn when I want to be, and if I need to prove a point, I'll do it. And I've done that. And a lot of them followed in my footsteps, sort of thing. You know, they've reached out, they've asked for help, and a lot of them have been down here. The people that haven't done this stuff have gone back out there, and the people that are getting on with the stuff, well, they're staying sort of clean. You know, so there's a message in that. Just so you know, for today, I haven't got the desire to use for today, and I've not, you know, and I've got the hope and faith that I'll continue as long as I keep doing this stuff. So yeah, I'll leave it there.
Alright, and it gives me great pleasure to hand it over to the last share of the day, Gavin.
My name's Gavin. Thanks for asking to share. My own group is the Bring Your Books Step Working Guide study, Wednesday night. So the constants of the group, that every group member brings their books. That's why it's called Bring Your Books. And the book we bring is a Step Working. That's my own group. In a few weeks I'll be 14 years clean. I've got clean in the Water Narcotics Service off the grim streets of Western Superman. So that's why I'm sitting there. You know, I sit here because I'm grateful. You know what I mean? I'm talking gratitude in action. You know what I mean? When I got here, Mr. Sponsor challenged me. He said, "You ain't grateful, you're just relieved." He said, you can't say you're grateful until I see you doing service in Narcotics Anonymous. He said, so don't let me hear you say in a meeting that you're grateful for an you ain't got a service post. That's what he said to me from day one. So I've got a service post. And then I said I was grateful. But I don't know, I was still relieved as well, you know. So I don't really know what I'm going to say really. You know, Daniel asked me beforehand, you know, do I ever get nervous when I do shares and stuff? And sometimes it's just like I'm talking in my front room to my wife, and I don't really see you lot. It's just, you know, I'm just talking. Or other times I go to the other extreme where it's just horrendous. you know, and I left my house earlier on and I shut the door and it was on me. It was just horrendous. My legs went like jelly. I was walking down the road, looked like I was drunk. My heart was going, I couldn't breathe. And then that voice that Daniel was talking about, I called it, you know, a whisper. It was a shout. When I cleaned up, it was a shout. Normally telling me I was a worthless piece, you know, and I was no good, and, you know, what you're doing here, you're worth it, and all that gear. You know, but as the years have gone on, that shout has turned into what I call a whisper. And it kind of like caresses and speaks to me, you know, really, you know, it's like a snake. You know, and it was whispering me on the way out my door. Just telling me I ain't well. That's what I was getting. And all that stuff, like, no one wants you to share there anyway. Half the people will leave as soon as you sit down at the front. Half of them will think, oh dear, the Godspot's here, I'm leaving. I was getting all that, you know, on the way out. It weren't shouting, it was just whispering at me. You know what I mean? But I ain't well enough not to come to meetings. I'm not. I ain't well enough not to work steps. I ain't well enough not to do service. I ain't well enough not to have a sponsor. I think, you know, once I accepted full measure of my illness, you know, full measure, it's a question in step working on, have you accepted full measure of your disease? Once I had, it's really hard not to do that stuff. Once I admitted that I've got the disease of addiction, it's really hard not to come in. It's really hard not to work the steps. It's really hard not to have a relationship with God. Because I believe what our literature says. So if you heard 4 shares today and you didn't really like any of it, read the literature. It shares you a lot better than I can. You know, stick to the black bits. Don't worry about the white bits. Stick to the black bits. And it gives me some clear-cut directions in you. Directions. You know, when I studied the basic text with my now sponsor, it was right complicated, if I'm honest, but to get 4 colours, and every time it was a suggestion, I highlighted with one colour. Every time it was a direction, I highlighted another one. And I can't remember the other 2. To be honest with you. It was really complicated, but it's really good to highlight, you know, the directions in there. You know, because I remember old Pete Rabbit used to say years ago, a couple of us didn't remember the rabbit, he used to say it's only suggested the word parachute when you jump out of a plane. So I don't look at this gear as suggestions. I look at it, you know, as directions, and it's life or death directions. You know, and you know, if you want to know what to do, there's a great chapter in our basic text called "What Can I Do?" It tells you what you can do. It don't say what we suggest. It says what you can do. And that's the choice, whether you do it or not. I don't stay clean by choice. I lost that part years before I got here, that's why I ended up in it. But in What Can I Do? It tells you to do all that stuff. It tells you to do 90 meetings in 90 days. It don't say 90 meetings in 90 days is the solution. It don't say 90 meetings in 90 days to keep you clean. It tells you to do other things within that 90 days. And that's get a sponsor, work the steps. And in that 90 days, it tells you to start developing a relationship with God. Within them 90 days. It don't say, like, wait 4 years, you know, before you start praying. You know, one of the other things that my first sponsor said to me, he said, if you want to stay, pray. That's what he said to me. Didn't know who I was praying to. But I kind of, you know, he was a mad Scotsman from the Globals. He swore a lot, shouted at me a lot, and loved me a lot. And I remember, you know, so I got clean in 2004, and I woke up in a dry house down at Brighton Road. I didn't live in a dry house. I was homeless, but I woke up in a dry house. Because somehow I broke into it in the night, in black hat, cooked a fry up, set the alarms off, and woke up in some girl's bed. Who wasn't there. So I didn't have to do that one, didn't have to do that one. It's like, where am I? you know what I mean? And I walked down these stairs and said, where the fire? I thought I've been kidnapped in the night. By the NA police or something. They put me in some gaff like fire. I come out over the door, see where I was. You know, something snaps in me. You know, I spent 3 years of using in this town. I spent 3 years of sitting in Narcotics Anonymous without a sponsor, not working the steps, no, just attending meetings and just using. Just doing meetings don't keep me clean. I wish they do. Most of the time, the easiest thing out of work, what I do to stay clean. I just come to a meeting. It's really, you know, something, you know, if my body walks in, my mind's got to come. But just doing that don't stop me from using it. You know, there's not enough power just sitting in meetings to stop me from using drugs. You know, just sitting in meetings, I'll get ill. You know what I mean? So when I left that, I phoned up the old Scott's wife. Right? It's hard to mention, not quite. If you stick around, there'll be people in your life that become really important. And when you look back, you can see how much importance they've played in your life. And it was really big for me. When I sponsored so many different things, what Scott's Rob told me was he taught me how to love. You know, and he loved me, and he's the first human being that I ever had an healthy relationship with in my life when I was 35 years old. I've never had an healthy relationship with another human being in my whole life. Ever. He was the first one. You know, he was like my dad. You know, he was crazy. You know, he looked like his head was upside down. He had a big beard and a bald head. He looked like a Scottish Uncle Albert out of EastEnders. That's what he looked like. I was doing step 5. He said I'm still registered clinically insane in Scotland. That's what he said back but he loved me, and he showed me how to work. He wasn't a big literature man. He showed me stuff and barked at me and loved me. You know, he showed me, you know, how to work this program. I didn't listen. I'll be like, yeah, it's good. And I'll be off and doing other stuff. But I went through the steps very quickly. You know, Rob said to me, keep relapsing quickly, you need to go through the steps quickly. You know, he said, you've got a progressive disease that's not arrested by abstinence. That's what our literature says. You know, sometimes in the meetings you read out bits of literature, people say, well, I haven't seen that. Well, you read it, you might find it. You know what I mean? It talks about that just mere physical abstinence is not our goal. Not. People say, what do you mean abstinence ain't our goal? Oh, that's the primary purpose, got to stay clean. It doesn't say that, it says the application of the 12 steps is our goal. Because without that, I ain't getting abstinence. Because I don't know about anyone else. When I walked out that dry house that I quoted to, you know, a day in, I didn't feel good. I didn't like myself. My guts were falling out. My skin was falling off. I had an head that screamed at me that I was a worthless piece of shit. And you need to just use. Because you ain't worth it. See, that's what the Scotsman told me, that I was worth it. Now, just using for this addict causes relapse. Just not using, just mere physical abstinence causes me to use. People think, what's she on about? Not using drugs causes you to use drugs. You know, stick around, just don't use one day at a time and see how you feel. See how you feel. Then you might know what I'm talking about. If you've got what I've got, if you've got the disease of addiction, if you stop using and feel like shit, and you've got an head that's screaming on you, and your guts are falling out and you're hurting, that's how you're meant to feel. If you just stop using drugs. You know, people come in a few days in and happy, joyous and free. I'm thinking, oh, no. Oh, we got one here. You know what I mean? We got one here. You know what I mean? Just not using, I'm just terrible. I went through the steps and, you know, I've been, so I ain't saying this out of ego or nothing, but I've been through the steps, I'm on maybe 7th time round. Because I've got progressive illness, so I need a progressive recovery. Right? My first set of steps I went through very quickly, and at the end of it, I was not that well. You know, we talked about, Alicia talks about peeling the onion. What I took off that onion on my first set of steps was the skin on the outside. I didn't get a layer off, just the skin. You know, the skin, sometimes I chop it up, my wife does go nuts because I'm cooking it, I can't, it's in food. It gets in your teeth. And what that skin was the obsession to use. That's what my first set of steps done for me. Got rid of the obsession to use, which is what I wanted. I woke up from 1982 to 2004 thinking of using every day and using every day. Every day. 82 to 04, unless someone got a key and locked the door. Every day. Wake up, think of first thought, use. Okay. Go and use. Put the first one in me. Got a physical sensitivity to drugs, put another one in me. Crash out, wake up, use, put another one in me. That's the cycle from 82 to 2004. All but periods of sitting in here. It took me 3 years and 90 days to get 90 days in Narcotics Anonymous. Was that Narcotics Anonymous for? No. That's my fault. Because our listener says our recovery is our own personal responsibility. So, you know, when I ain't doing what NA says, I won't get what NA says I will get. You see, we talk about, we've got one promise in it, freedom from active addiction, but it's something called a conditional promise. It ain't a given. It's given on condition that I do something. It's not given on a condition that I'm sitting in a meeting. Because when I used in 2004, I used 15 minutes after a meeting the night before. I was sitting in a meeting. I hadn't used up in that morning. The geezer done the share, nodded back, shared to my identification back, left the meeting and used. What was I doing before that? Just sitting in meetings. Just sitting in meetings. Meetings is only part of what I do. It ain't the whole of what I do. It's not, you know, if you look at our symbol in the basic text, it looks a bit complicated. I ain't going to go into a shell. It's a bit pickly. But basically that contains our suggestions. And that's the conditions that I have to do to be free from active addiction. So that's the choice I've got every day. Because I believe our literature when it says people never relapse who live the NA way of life. Don't say people never relapse who read the basic text. It don't say people never relapse who write the steps. It says who live the NA way of life. So what is living the NA way of life? It's living my spiritual principles to the best of my abilities. That's all it is. Because when I went through my first set of steps, what happened was I kind of done a further step forward which just totally ruined me, which it should. It's meant to deflate my ego. It's meant to tell me the truth, which it did. I kind of went from 5 to 8 and 9. I didn't really like looking at 6 and 7. Made loads of amends, then went on to carrying this message and practising these defects in all my affairs. I thought this is great. Do you know what I mean? For my first 3.5 years, I think I committed a criminal offence every day. I'm being serious. Every day I committed a criminal offence. Every day. My sexual conduct was atrocious. Do you know what I mean? In my first 90 days, this is clean, I had 17 charges. venereal disease, and a few belters. And the Scotsman's pulling his hair out and getting at it. Do you know what I mean? I've got to, I've got nicked on my 90-day clean, so I didn't get clean, or child suit. And I went on this thing of just acting out on defects. Alicia says, our defects back us into a corner, which we, Dad, you'll come out clean. Dad, I'll come out of it clean. And I tell you how, another addict pulled me out of it clean. It took me back through the steps. You know what I mean? And then I tried to practice these principles in all my affairs. Try it. I don't always get it right. My wife's there, she testifies to that. I don't always get it right, but I try to practice it. And because I've got in such a dark place that maybe about 3.5 years clean, I went up to kill myself clean. 3.5 years of abstinence. Notice I said abstinence, I didn't say recovery. Because if I'd have had 3.5 years of recovery, I wouldn't have gone off to try and kill myself. Clean. See, this disease don't care if it kills me with a 1 mil, drugs, whatever. It'll kill me clean with rope around my neck. It don't really care. It ain't got like I know I say drug of choice. It ain't got a death of choice. It don't really care how it kills you. It just wants you dead. And I went off, driving up and down the 370. I remember driving, thinking I'm waiting for a bus. And all these to drive into, all these little cars were driving past. I was getting young. I think, where's the big cars in your way? I was driving up and down, and I felt like that for about 6 months. And I tried, Ralph touched on it. I had that aching that I had when I was using briefly went away, and then it come back with a bang. Because everything materialistic and of the world that I tried to fill it, didn't fill it. I couldn't find a God-shaped woman. She ain't that. I couldn't find a God-shaped car. There ain't one out there. I couldn't find a God-shaped pound note. There ain't one out there. I couldn't find God-shaped sex. It ain't out there. I couldn't find God-shaped food. It ain't out there. Because that's what I tried to fill the hole with. And the only thing that's filled my void is a relationship with God. I ain't found anything else that has stopped me hurting from the inside out. And then this is just pretty clear about that. It says our recovery is dependent on a relationship with the God of your own understanding. It says it's dependent. So if I ain't got that, what have I got? And it's very, very important to me. My relationship with God. When I cleaned up, I just thought you lot needed God because you were very ill. I did. I thought you lot badly need God, man. You could have stayed. I don't really need him. I needed him when I was going to get sentenced. I needed him when the data was late. I needed him to get me clean, and he did. He sent me in. You know what I mean? So I was all right asking him for help to get here, and when I got here, I didn't speak to him no more. And that's really common, isn't it? There's no one in this room that ain't said, God help me, at one stage in their life. I don't believe there's anyone in this room who didn't say, God help me, before they got here. And then we get here, and then we don't speak to him no more. Man, isn't it? It's the most important relationship. Notice the list said relationship. It didn't say that our recovery is dependent on believing in God. It didn't say that, did it? It said relationship. So my relationship with God comes before now. It didn't at first, it was you lot first. My sponsor first. And then as the years, notice I said years, but it took time, years. My relationship with God comes first. Doesn't mean to say I'm going to leave here and go off on a religious seal. I had to seek outside of this fellowship, like our literature suggests we do. But it also says these are dangerous times. Well, it says it's their work. So what that means is that I sleep outside but I stay in. My recovery is done only in Narcotics Anonymous. Where I go on my step 11 appointments, that is not to do with working the programme, that's to do with my step 11 and my faith. My recovery is based firmly in Narcotics Anonymous, because that's what keeps me clean. Believing in God does not keep me clean. It does not keep me clean. Action keeps me clean. It's a programme of works. It'd be great if just all believe in God, nobody knows, fantastic. No, I've got a disease that don't allow me to stay clean without doing works. You know what I mean? I have to do this stuff. No. Always say to newcomers, man, because I don't expect everyone in this world, not so much like what I said, but even to understand what I've said. So, I mean, what tends to happen is people stick around, come up to me, a few years later say, I know what you mean now. I know what you mean now, because they've gone through it, or they've experienced the spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, and they know what to do. And they know what it's like to have a relationship with God. And they know what it's like to be able to know. But my life today, ain't perfect. Do you know what I mean? It ain't perfect. But I am a productive member of society. I come down here with the NA briefcase, just a bin log. And I lost that after I made that. I lost everything. Look, they've got stuff out, so when I cleaned up and I come out of the house, I had nothing. I had nothing. It took me 3 years to shave in the mirror. Because I still didn't like who I said. So I was only 3 years clean before I had my first shave in the mirror. Today I had a shave, look, once a week, Saturday. I shave once. Oh, thanks. Not been paying attention. Sitting next to you. 6 minutes. Oh, right, lovely. I've just had a journey in NA over the last 14 years, and it's indescribable. All right, I've got a nice job, I own my own place, I've got a nice car, I've got all that stuff. But I know if I lost all that tomorrow, I'd stay clean. Because they don't keep it clean. Because at 4 years in, I lost all that. I had all that. I had the Range Rover, I had thousands of pounds. My girlfriend at the time was like 14 years younger than me. I had a beautiful child, I had a big house on the beachfront, and I got stripped of all that. I got stripped of all that. And in 6 weeks, in the back of my mum's settee, jobless, homeless, and penniless on the 2 feet. And this is talked about recovering relapse, so that can happen. I got married in recovery. I've been in a healthy marriage in recovery, because that is possible. We can have healthy relationships in Narcotics Anonymous. I'm not the type of addict that sits there and says I'm sick, because I ain't. I've got the capacity to get sick and become unwell, but I don't think, it says we do recover, it don't say we stay sick. What message is that? Oh, you'll always be sick. You're going to come back, are you? You'll always be sick. Well, maybe the person who's saying that might always be sick. But trust me, we do recover in here and our lives improve when we get better. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes stuff you're hearing is, you've got to eat the chicken spit out the bones. And you'll learn how to do that when you stick around. I'm not saying I don't make mistakes, because I do. But I was really ill when I come in here, really ill. But I don't get to a place where I've changed, where I don't need to keep changing. Every day I have to do something for my recovery. Every day I have to work steps. I don't really, want to get into recovery, generally want to get out. I don't want to slip back into abstinence. Because I don't want to slip back into choosing not to use, because I use. If I could choose not to use, I don't need to come here. I don't. If I've got the power of choice today, if my choice can stop me from using, I don't need to come here. Because choices come from will. All your choices come from your will. So every choice comes from you make, from your will. And then step one in the basic text says, willpower is insufficient to sustain recovery. So just choosing not to use it every day, Alice says you ain't going to sustain your recovery. So the choice is further on in step one. The choice is change your thinking or go back to using it. That's what it tells you. How do you change your thinking? Work steps. Or go back to using it. Now, untreated addiction, I will use it. It says that in step one, it said take you back to the place where you started. That's it. Which is what I thought you'd be waiting. What kind of it? Oh, no. I've got 3 minutes. No. I've got 2 minutes. I've got 2 minutes, but I ain't even got a clue what I've just said. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's a good thing. But I just want to encourage you, man, that there's so much more on offer in Narcotics Anonymous than abstinence. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. That, how free do you really want to be? Do you want to just stop use drugs and feel like your skin's falling off and be angry, twisted, resentful, judgmental, all that every day? Or do you want to have some serenity? How free do you want to be? So there's so much more on offer on this website. So I ain't going to run through it, but please read the end of step 11 and it works out mine. It shows the gifts. The gifts. And that's what's on offer, man, It's a beautiful program if you work it. If you don't work it and you use, it's your fault. It's your fault. Alright? So work the program, stay clean. Don't work the program, I doubt whether you will stay clean. So what's your choice going to be? I'll leave it there.
Thank you, Gavin. We're going to do a clean time celebration, then we're going to have a raffle and auction. So if everyone could hang about for a few minutes, we're just going to go through the clean time. Mikey.
Hello, everybody.
Controlling light.